I see Ford's hiding their new 2025 Explorer in a warehouse. I think I want to get it for myself, so let's put the paperwork in action and see what happens. Well, here's exactly what it is. The ST model, I think that's the more expensive one. And here's some of the options, not too many. 21-inch wheels instead of the 20 or 18 inches you get on the less expensive models. We'll talk about that a little bit later. No EPA data available because this is right off the production line. A test unit for important people like me, not for sale. Says right here, not for sale. But for those who want to buy American, it says it's assembled in Chicago. So we see by this chart, the base Explorer is $41,450, and down here the ST, $55,855, and I already checked, the one we have here is just a hair under $58,000 to pay for those bigger wheels and tires. So here it is in person, so to speak. Understand they did some refreshing. Yeah, this is a long one, 3-row seating. Trucked it all the way from Michigan just for us. This is going to be a quickie review. We're not going to cover everything bumper to bumper. You've probably already seen other videos on this. We're going to cover things the other videos didn't show you. For example, let's look and see where these tires are made, because a lot of manufacturers are putting cheap junkers on. Yeah, Ford especially. But these are Pirellis, can't complain about that. 275/45 R21. I said this before, I'll say it again. If you get a vehicle with 18-inch, 19-inch, even 20-inch tires, your ride is going to be pretty smooth. When you go to 21, 22 inches, no matter how good the suspension is, you're going to lose some ride quality. And I think that's what we're going to find out about this. We'll learn that as the video goes along. Also, if you do a lot of highway traveling, you get a nasty flat that can't be fixed, getting a replacement tire in a 21, 22-incher is not easy. I almost got stranded 3 days because of that. But that's a different video, different story. And for our 60 grand, are we getting a spare tire? Yeah, it's a small one, but it's better than nothing. Beats walking. And you don't want to lose this, because if you ever run out of gas and have to use a gas can to fill your tank, the nozzle will not fit unless you have this adapter. One thing I noticed, these exhaust tips are fake. There's nothing coming out this hole. Comes out a hole in the bottom. Some people complain about this. 99.9% of people will never notice and never care. I don't care. The holes are down there somewhere. No big deal to me. And like other YouTubers, we drive at night and test the vehicle at night and test the headlights at night. We already posted that video on YouTube. We'll have a link for that at the end of this video, so you're getting 2 videos to watch for the price of 1, free. And working our way down, I see we have the ST emblem in bright red. So everybody will know you paid 60 grand for your Ford instead of 40. It's very hot today, so let's get in the shade and look under the hood and see what powertrains they're giving us in this 2025 model. The base engine is a 2.3 liter EcoBoost, putting out 300 horsepower, 300 pound-feet of torque, rate at 21 to 28 miles to the gallon. On their premium models, you get a 3.0 liter turbo, putting out 400 horsepower, 415 pounds-feet of torque at 3,500 RPM. Fuel economy rate 18 to 26 mpg in 2-wheel drive. Knock off around 1 mpg if you're getting all-wheel drive. This doesn't have. Both hooked up to Ford's modern 10-speed automatic transmission. For V8 lovers, let's do a comparison on the Ford 5.0 liter V8 found in the Ford trucks. It puts out 400 horsepower. Same here. 410 pounds-feet of torque. Less than here. So you're getting the horsepower and torque of a V8 in a very, very small package. And that V8 drinks a lot more gas at 15 to 20 mpg with an average of 17. A lot less than this. As a rule, I'm not a big fan of EcoBoost type engines in heavy vehicles, but this one is a real sweet power plant. It's the same one used in the upgraded Ford Ranger Raptor and the Raptor Broncos that sell for $90,000. A very, very strong engine, lots of power, decent fuel economy if you're light on the throttle. We're going to take this out, put around 400 miles on it, see what the real fuel economy is. Ford's upgraded the cabin materials and workmanship quite a bit. A few things I don't like though. By the way, I like the little show you get on the instrument cluster when you first get in. Continuing on, some features I don't like. The very first time I got in this vehicle, it was at night, it was freezing. So the first thing I want to do is start up the vehicle and reach for the heater. You know, the knobs that are usually here, and turn the heater on, and there's nothing here. They moved it to the info screen. This is a family show. I'm not going to use the language I'm thinking. Here's your temperature, the fan speed, etc., etc. I'm going to keep this comment very short and simple. There's not a Ford owner on the planet out of millions that have ever called Ford and said, please take the knobs off the dash and put everything on the info screen. Nobody wants this. No one asked for this, except some engineers at Ford who are trying to save a few bucks by not giving us a few knobs that cost a couple bucks a piece. Although in all fairness, we do get a volume knob for the radio. In fact, just about everything you want to do is now on the screen. Isn't there enough to do already without having to fiddle with the heater and air conditioner controls on this? Don't like it. What really puzzles me is they took away the simple knobs for the front where the driver operates the controls, but they give knobs back here for the passengers. The passengers aren't paying for the car, the driver is. He's the one that deserves the knobs, not the passengers. Go figure. And I'm not going to demonstrate this. We'll be here for half an hour. But there's a lot to do here. Interior lighting. Well, you get the idea. Let's continue on to something else. There's something else I found mildly annoying. This whole housing, you have the spy cameras looking at your face, watching you. I see you. Well, I see you too, and I notice that the housing, it's not even. It's canted to the left. Now, this is a pre-production car. I don't know if just this vehicle. Maybe they're all like this. I don't know. No big deal, really, but makes you wonder why it is this way. And continue on, the rotary dial for the 10-speed transmission. Almost forgot, we got a drive mode. Efficient driving, spirited on-road driving, trailering and heavy payloads. What else we got here? Balanced everyday driving, wet icy snow, light off-roading. Yeah, they want you to take this off-road, and I was going to, except it rained and there's mud everywhere, and I don't want to get stuck. We get a nice large glove box, by the way. And 3-row seating. I have a bunch of stuff in here at the moment. 2 seats in the front, 2 seats in the second row, and a set in the back. That would give you 6 passengers, but I think they advertise it at 7. I think you can get a bench seat for the second row if you get the less expensive model. Alright, show and tell is over. Let's take this out and do some driving. That's what we're here for. Ford did a great job on the suspension. This is a very smooth, comfortable vehicle for the most part, but of course those large tires and wheels, you hear a bit of thumping on rough pavement and you just can't get away from that, but you get used to it. It's no big deal. This engine's a real powerhouse. V8 power and a small displacement. Oh. Yeah. With the throttle down, it goes and goes in a hurry. A little bit noisy when it does so, but so what? If you're just using this vehicle for daily commuting, running errands, that little 2.3 liter 4-cylinder engine will probably do it for you. If you're hauling lots of gear, lots of people, or towing, or just want lots of power, this 3.0 V6 is a real gem. Worth the extra money, I think. That's why they put it in the Ford Ranger with the Raptor package. We tested that truck about a couple months ago, and plenty of power on that one too, no complaints. So driving around the city today, we put just around 26 miles. Let's see what our fuel economy is. Holy Toledo, 13.9. All right, I admit it, I had my foot down on the throttle. Got a lot of power under the hood, and I like using it. I think we'll get a bit more serious, though, and do some more normal driving. Maybe take a couple highway trips. Bump these numbers up a bit. We did an 83-mile highway test. We did have the cruise control at 75 miles per hour, but I was in a hurry. Did a lot of passing. Driving a bit quicker than we should have been. So the mileage dropped down to 25.1, which still isn't too bad, considering the horsepower and the weight of the vehicle. So we'll be doing a lot more driving. Don't go away. Here's our second highway trip. 55 miles, 26.3 mpg. More than acceptable to me. I'm very impressed with this motor. The power and torque of a V8, far better fuel economy. A bit noisy when you press it, but that's okay. Nice to hear something under the hood every now and then. I like it. If you can afford the extra money over the 4-cylinder, you will not be disappointed. By the way, the 0 to 60 mile per hour time with this motor is around 5 seconds. Pretty good for a vehicle that weighs around 5,000 pounds. So you have lots of passing power on the freeway and lots of grunt for pulling heavy loads. As far as the rest of the vehicle, yeah, I had a few gripes about the minor controls, but no big deal. Overall, this is a pretty good vehicle. Very comfortable to drive on city streets or the highway. I think Ford did a pretty good job on this one. Now, how does it perform in the dark? Well, if you want to see the headlight test and night drive video we did, here's a link coming up. Click and watch. You're already here.